hope you're all ready here. So we're going to have some fun, cover some of the good stuff. Let's get this all set up here. Go PowerPoint deck. Yes. Okay, so a couple different things we want to cover here and help you guys understand a little bit of the basics to give you just a little bit of perspective on LinkedIn. Make sure here is those of you that are watching some of these comments to help you out as you're watching them. So everyone's at different levels, and sometimes I understand we just need a visual. So if you're part of this right now, maybe you're watching this as something that's just a free value. Maybe you're part of the course where you're watching all of this stuff and everything's making sense because you've seen some of the previous trainings. You're going to see some of the future trainings, but I'm going to have it make sense for everybody and really just break things down for you because I know we're trying to figure out how to do LinkedIn. So whether you're part of the 3-day LinkedIn workshop or you just get a sneak peek of watching this training, pay close attention as I'm going to make everything extremely visual for everyone. So why is LinkedIn so incredible? What are some of these advantages? So a couple of the different advantages for all of you is you really want to look at this and you want to have some perspective is it's people expect on there to be pitched. So by that I mean is that's the strength. We're going to talk about the weakness with it, but people are expecting someone else to pitch them. Now, here's an example. If you're on Facebook and someone pitches you, a lot of you are just annoyed. I can't even believe it. If you're on Instagram and someone pitches you, it's like, what are you doing? It's like they violated you a lot of times, right? So you're trying to figure out ways that you can be more almost crafty. Now, I get it. Some of you are more direct and you figured out ways to do it. And you figured out your style and you figured out your personality and you figured out all of this good stuff as you go. But what I want to share with you is as you're doing this on LinkedIn, it's much more acceptable to be direct. Now, being direct does not mean becoming Spamla Pamela. Being direct doesn't mean that, oh my goodness, I just added them and now I'm just going to pitch. Look, yes, people are pitching sooner, people are pitching more often, but you've got to stand out. You've got to be a little bit different as you're doing this. So a couple other things, 575 million users. 40% of those users are active daily. Now, a total of 39% of LinkedIn users pay for LinkedIn Premium, which, yes, it's got 4 price tiers, but I want to just say this. This is the only social media platform where many are paying, just to put it in perspective for all of you. I mean, think about that. What other social media platform do you have people that are actually paying, meaning they're on social media with a completely different intent on LinkedIn. And some of you are like, oh, but I've tried LinkedIn. It doesn't work for me. It's like anything. Most of you, when you first tried Facebook or Instagram, it didn't work for you. Most of you, when you first started out, right, in the network marketing profession, it didn't necessarily work for many of you. Some of you, you had huge success, and that's because of previous things that you had done before. But it's like anything and everything. It takes a focus. It's not something that you just try and all of a sudden it works out and it's absolutely incredible. It's trial and error. A couple other things. Disadvantages. Yes, the strength can be a weakness. Yes, sometimes now you feel like everybody's Pamela, and it's like I get in my inbox and all it is pitch fest. You pitch me, you pitch me, you pitch me, you pitch me. Who can pitch the most? Who can stand out? But that's okay. Just because a lot of people are doing it wrong doesn't mean you need to do it wrong. Everything has a strength and everything has a weakness. And I'm focusing for you a little bit more on the mindset of understanding this to help you to overcome everything that I'm teaching you. And this is just a really quick training that's going to give you a visual. Those of you that are part of, that aren't just watching this training, but those of you that are part of the 3-day LinkedIn workshop, you know that I'm going above and beyond. Initially, it was just going to be 3 trainings, and now we're going to have a total of 5 trainings. And this is the second training as we go. We're going more basics to help give you things. I thought this would be perfect, inserting this to give you an overview based on some of the things that we already covered. And then we're going to go more in depth and more advanced for all of you. to make it happen. So the steps to optimize your profile, and some of this stuff you saw, I'm just going to make it visual for you so that you can see it. So hopefully you're taking a look. So as you're looking at this, use a professional headshot with a clear background. And that's going to show you next, but I want you to just look at this overall right here, what it looks like. And then we're going to get lasered in. And again, my audience is anyone who's in network marketing. That's not your audience, right? You've learned this. You've got to figure out who's your target market, who's your audience. We'll talk about that in a second. So now, you notice I use a professional headshot with a clear background. You can use Upwork, you can use Fiverr, you can create an even more professional looking photo. These things don't cost a lot, but first impressions can last a lifetime. First impression, this is the first thing they see. Should I accept this connection? Should I add this person as a new connection? Super simple thing, but it's absolutely important as you go through it. Next thing, I know this sounds common sense, but use your real name. This is not a time where you're going to use nicknames or you're going to use emojis or you're going to try to be cute. This is much more of a professional type platform, and you need to understand that, right? If I'm on TikTok, right, you can be absolutely 100% silly all the time, and that fits that platform as well as fitting whatever your style or your personality is as you go. A couple other things. Create an attention-grabbing headline that describes exactly what you do. So I help scale a successful network marketing business. I'm very clear. If you're someone that's in the network marketing profession, you're thinking, wow, if I want to up level, right? If I want to level up my network marketing business, this is a guy to talk to. But if you're someone that doesn't have any interest in network marketing, you're probably like, I'm not sure if I really want to follow this guy on LinkedIn. I'm not sure if I really want to connect with this guy on LinkedIn. So get really clear. Now, some exercises that you can do is just start writing. Just get a piece of paper, right? Get a piece of paper. And what I want you to do is I just want you to start writing. Start writing anything and everything that you can do. Anything and everything. And start writing. As you start writing, you're going to figure it out, and you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to fail many times before you succeed. And we had just such an incredible training yesterday as far as, everyone just getting so many insights. I should pull out my notes. I've got so many notes yesterday, and just absolutely just smashed that. It was just so fun. And she's got that incredible accent as well that makes it even better. But she articulated so many different things. And so this training is going to be more of a review. And then we're going to do more advanced tomorrow with 2 trainings back to back. Those of you that are part of the 3-day LinkedIn, right, workshop. Those of you that aren't, that are just watching this, that's okay. You're going to find a ton of value in this. And then I'm going to do a crazy advanced training after that as well as we go. So I don't suggest, Tracy, that you start out with paying for Prime. Start out for free, most of the things you can do. And then as you start learning some of the other tips and tricks, then you can decide if you want to upgrade. But at the beginning, you don't need to pay for premium. At the beginning, you're good. You don't need to do any of that stuff as you start. Some of you are a little bit more advanced, and if you are, then that's okay. So list a lot of different headlines. And as you list a lot of these different headlines, you're going to list exactly, as you already learned, who that target market is. So that when someone sees that cover photo, they instantly know what you're about and what's the problem that you can solve. Think about that. What's the problem that you can solve? So here's mine, right? Perfect. Really, really simple. It's not anything complicated, but you know exactly what I do and you know exactly what I'm about. Now, you've seen this, right? This is just a review, giving you all a visual. Hopefully my internet stays as we go through this, but write an engaging summary. So make sure whenever you write a summary that those first couple lines are the most compelling. Now, I learned this in my first book, and now I've written several books. My 3rd book's about to come out here soon. And I learned that I met with an author that had written over 40 different books. And what he did is he challenged me, and it took me an additional year to finish my first book because I had no idea what I was doing. He said, go to every single paragraph and look at what the most compelling sentence in that paragraph is and move it to the very top, and then figure out your flow. And I thought, wow, it was so simple yet so brilliant. And so some of you have read both of my books, but in the book, The Game of Networking, that's all I did. I literally spent all this time of just taking the most important sentence, the most captivating sentence. So for me, I ask a question. Want to scale your network marketing business or become a top sales rep? Now, of course, that's not your audience. Your audience are not the network marketers. So you're not going to say that. Your audience could be, we heard a ton of great examples yesterday, but your audience could be, maybe it's someone who wants to lose weight. So that's your focus. You can ask a question. You can make it really compelling at the beginning because people's attention spans are less and less. And so I could ask a specific question that maybe you've got an incredible service or travel company, or maybe you've got another incredible product that can help. So again, always think of what's the problem and what's the solution. And if I can answer that at the very, very beginning, now they're going to continue on. Now they're going to be more excited to read. But people right now, attention is hard to keep. It's hard to get. Attention is the number one currency for marketing. I want you to write that down. Attention is the number one currency for marketing. And a lot of you are like, oh, but I've been taught attention so bad. And I've talked about this a little bit before, and this is an insight from someone I was personally coaching recently, and now it's turning into a mastermind training. But look at the people that you respect the most. The most influential people that you respect the most, they get a lot of attention. Attention is okay. Attention is great. That's how you have impact and influence. The key is what's your intention when you're gathering or gaining this attention. So you've got to get over that. You've got to get over that. It's another little mindset training because a lot of you, it's the things behind all of this where it prevents you from putting yourself out there more. It prevents you. Maybe you're scared to get on LinkedIn because you've got a ton of friends on LinkedIn and you don't want them to see what you're about. And they're going to start judging you and saying, well, who are you to be teaching people how to lose weight or teach people how to make money or teaching, people how to become mompreneurs? Who are you, right? It's the fear of judgment. It's the mother of all fears. You know this. Remove the fear of judgment and you no longer have the fear of rejection, the fear of success, the fear of failure, the fear of inadequacy, the fear of missing out. It all stems from the fear of judgment. So you've got to understand that good leaders have vision, great leaders give vision. And even in trainings like this, when we're talking about LinkedIn, it still starts with the mindset because mindset will eat skills and systems for breakfast. So you see, I've just got a couple lines here where I'm establishing credibility. I'm asking questions. I'm making it extremely personal as we go. Now, two things here. Connect with everyone you know. Strong clarification there. At the very bottom, it says, do not connect with those in your company. Why? This is the same for all social media platforms. It's the same on Instagram. It's the same on Facebook. It's the same thing I've been teaching for years and years and years. Why? Because why would I want to be on any social media platform and be excited, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, and be excited that 95% of my contacts are all people that are part of my company or my business, and I get 100 likes and comments, and I'm like, yay, this is incredible. Well, your goal is impact. So if you want to plug your teams in, and you have great content, you can copy and paste that content and share it into the groups. If you're utilizing a Facebook group, or maybe you're utilizing a Telegram channel, or maybe whatever you're utilizing, I don't care the platform, but you're going to have some place that you plug your groups in. You're using your LinkedIn for prospecting. So I want to make sure that I'm connecting with people that are potential prospects. Now, aim to have at least 500 connections because after that, it starts to show strong credibility, and you'll see it says 500 plus connections. So that's something that you want to aim for. For some of you, it's going to take some time. Here's tip number 6 is write and publish articles on LinkedIn. I'm going to give you some statistics that will blow your mind. Maybe not, maybe you already know this, but I think 99, this is a made up statistic. So I'm going to make up this statistic. I might as well be really specific and scientific. I believe 99.6279% of people don't know this statistic. I also heard that 70% of statistics are made up. How do I know that statistic wasn't made up? So content on LinkedIn feed. receives about 9 billion impressions per week, but only 3 million users out of more than 500 million shared content. So that means only 3 million out of 500 million are actually sharing content on a weekly basis. Most people are the stalkers. You have a huge opportunity to be the person that's the performer, to be the person that's the sharer, to be the person that's the expert. I know for some of you that feels uncomfortable. I don't feel like I'm an expert on anything yet. I can't share. So let me help you out a little bit. If you feel like you're not the expert yet, then become the reporter. Here's an example. Let's say that, right, you all know that I'm 100% generic. I'm not part of any company. But let's say I've done intermittent fasting now legit. Like I've done intermittent fasting before intermittent fasting was a thing and people used to make fun of me. So I've done intermittent fasting now for, I want to say 8 years. And it's become a huge thing the last 2-3 years. So if I started intermittent fasting and I wasn't the expert, I would become the reporter. The reporter would be sharing my journey. The reporter would be sharing tips, maybe from other people, as well as my own personal insights as I go. So get over it. So many of you are like, I can't share content. Why not? There's different things that you learn. You could take things from other people, give them credit, share the credit, but then give your own personal insights. And as you do this, what you're going to find is it makes a huge, huge difference, a huge difference. Now you become the expert. Now it's, as we already learned, it's a huge SEO engine, which stands for search engine optimization. So anything. And you can all just figure out, what are the key things that you want to focus on. So another side tip is my really good friend, Brian, does a training on branding. And what he does is he teaches you to figure out what are the 5 pillars. What are the 5 things? And I think he got this, he said, from Kim Garst. What are the 5 things you want to consistently always talk about? 5 things. And you may list out 10 to start out with. And some of you are like, I can't even think of 2. And maybe you talk with the things that you're passionate about, things that you're excited about. Now, one of those 5 things should always tie into your business. Always. And I would say on LinkedIn, I would narrow those 5 to 2, maybe 3 things. Now, these are topics, right? And then you have subtopics in those, but I would not deviate at all from those because it's niches to riches. So on Facebook or Instagram, it's going to be a lot more of people getting to know you as a person. It's going to be sharing a ton of funny and photos and family photos and your trips and everywhere you go. That's a different platform. So with that, you're going to have 5 things you consistently talk about. But we're talking specifically on LinkedIn. Now we want to get even more laser focused. So now you're going to do max 3, but I would even say you're good with 2. So now I'm niches to riches, right? Now I'm getting laser focused. If it's something where I want to talk about health and wellness, right, as one, and then I have subtopics on health and wellness. It could be working out. It could be eating well. It could be intermittent fasting. Those are subtopics, but they all work with the main one, health and wellness. Maybe the other one I want to talk about is home-based business. Now, I'm not saying title it home-based business every time you talk about home-based business. It could be, teaching people how to make money utilizing social media, right? You create all these subtopics that go with it. But you want to have niches to riches as you're going. And that goes along perfect with number 7, which is post status updates and engage. Like and comment with other users, right? Like and comment with other users that you feel like are interested in the specific topics that you are interested in and that you want people to follow and interact with you, because people can actually see, some people will see your content that aren't even connected with you. That's one of the greatest parts about LinkedIn as you go. So this is an old stat, but it's still relevant. You don't have to be a LinkedIn influencer to have your content perform well. Of the 10,000 most shared posts on LinkedIn between 2012 and 2016, and I know it's an old stat, but it's still relevant, only 6% were written by LinkedIn influencers. Status updates will rank in your connections newsfeeds. So if anything else, you're like, I don't understand this stuff, like algorithm. Look, it's all about providing value to the world. The more value you provide, you're going to find you're going to become a better communicator. You're going to find you're going to start to attract the right people. Your vibe attracts your tribe. You're going to find that search engine optimization, right? It starts showing to the right people. You start connecting with the right people. Now we know the money is, we always say in Messenger, but now as you shift to those private messages, you can have those conversations as you go. Another thing is images. Images, one study shows that have a 98% more engagement. So highly consider images. Now, some of you, again, if you're looking at this and you're gonna look at this and you're gonna say, oh my goodness, I'm just so overwhelmed and I just don't know where to start. Look, this is where you start. You start with your profile, your cover photo, your description. Once that's done, then you identify the couple things you're going to consistently talk about, your main topics, subtopics. And then after that, it's going to be pretty easy. You're going to post on a regular, consistent basis. It's going to make a huge difference. So I'm breaking everything down, making it really, really easy for you as you start. Now, complete your current work experience information about you. Now, I'm simplifying and just showing you part as you go, but consultant, entrepreneur, present 17 years, right? It's July 2002 to present 17 years, 11 months. So you decide what it is. It could be for you, right? Whatever it is, whatever you're passionate about. I don't really care. Some people are more coy. Some people are more direct as far as exactly what they're part of. I don't really care. As long as you're the bold version of you and you don't feel like you're tricking people, I don't care. You decide what that is and then go do it. Now what we do is we add skills to your profile. Now, if any of this stuff doesn't make sense, I'm going to give you access to my very best assistant. Okay, you're going to want to write this down. Access to my very best assistant. Okay, I'm not sure if it's a he or a she, but my very best assistant is Google. So all you do is anytime you think of anything or anything doesn't make sense, you just go to Google. Right? If you're like, oh, well, how do I create, new skills on LinkedIn? Go to Google. It will show you an image and show you exactly similar to what I'm showing here with different images and breaking it down for you. There's always someone that's showing it to you really easily and you can do it quickly and you can figure it out. So add skills to your profile. Now, why do you want to add skills to your profile? Because as you add skills to your profile, it could be entrepreneur, it could be public speaker, it could be social media guru. I know we feel uncomfortable sometimes adding skills. It could be any of those types of things. Now it's going to add credibility as your connections begin to endorse you. So it's a huge thing. And one of the things that you can do is, as you make new connections with other people, it's the law of reciprocation. As I start to endorse some of their skills, be real, right? If you don't know them and at all, or there's nothing you can endorse, then don't just endorse for the sake of endorsing. But as I can start to endorse, maybe you just see their profiles good or you watch one of their videos and so you can go endorse a couple of things. Or they've been successful as an entrepreneur and so you're going to endorse them as an entrepreneur. As you start clicking on those endorsements, now it's going to create more credibility for them. But now they're going to see that you've done that. And not always, it's not like instantly every person's going to go endorse you and your skills, but a lot of times it's the law of reciprocation where they come back and they endorse you. So it makes a difference as you go. So a couple different things as you go. A couple different questions that I've got listed right here. How often should you post? I would post once a day. If you have really good content, you can post more than once a day, but I would steer clear of that most of the time. Let it run its course. Let it get its engagement so you don't have two different posts on LinkedIn that are competing against each other. So I would say just do one post a day. If that overwhelms you, that's okay. If you're not posting at all and you want to start with once a week, great. Move up to twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week as you go. I promise you, it will challenge you. It'll challenge you on your creativity. It will challenge you on your communication skills. It will help you to become a better communicator. On top of beginning to attract the right people, it'll make a huge difference as you go. Last one, really, really simple. Ask your team to recommend you. So if you already have people that you're connected with, and again, when I say team, these are people that, maybe they're part of a different business. Maybe they're employees or something. If they're part of your organization that type of team, then since we're not looking to find all those people and add them as connections, then if you're going to keep them as friends, right, or connections, and that's up to you, then yeah, you can absolutely make sure that you ask them to endorse you. That's up to you if you want to keep them or not. A lot of you, I would say for most of you, keep the connections that you have, and then just make sure moving forward that you're focused on people that aren't part of your business. So again, super simple. This is just a really quick LinkedIn overview to help you, to give you a visual, because I know sometimes visuals can help. And I'm excited as this is just the beginning, and we're going to do more and more advanced trainings on LinkedIn that are going to make a huge difference and help you out tremendously.